Legends are born from the shadows of history, where the line between reality and myth blurs. Tonight, we delve into one such tale, a story whispered in the darkest corners of Japan. It is a story of a doll, a curse, and a spirit that refuses to rest. This is the story of the cursed doll of Okiku. Her name is Okiku, a doll, they say, with a soul, a doll that grows hair, a doll that moves when no one is watching. But is she merely a doll, or something far more sinister? Our story begins in the early 1900s, in a quiet village in Hokkaido, Japan. A young girl named Okiku lived here with her family. She was a cheerful child, full of life, and her most prized possession was a beautiful, handcrafted doll. This doll was a gift from her older brother, who had brought it back from a trip to Sapporo. Okiku adored it, treating it as if it were her own child. She would dress it, comb its hair, and even talk to it as if it could respond. But tragedy struck one fateful day. Okiku fell ill, a sudden mysterious sickness that no doctor could cure. Within weeks, the vibrant young girl was gone, leaving behind her grieving family and her beloved doll. After Okiku's death, her family decided to keep the doll as a memento of her. They placed it on a shelf in their home, where it remained untouched for years. But soon, strange things began to happen. As time passed, the family noticed something unsettling. The doll's once trimmed hair had begun to grow. At first, they dismissed it as a trick of the eye, but soon, the strands lengthened noticeably, and that was just the beginning. The doll did not just grow hair, it moved. At first, just subtle shifts, a tilt of the head, a slight repositioning. But soon, doors would creak open, footsteps would echo when no one was there, and whispers would fill the night. One night, Okiku's mother awoke to the sound of faint whispers. She followed the sound to the room where the doll was kept. There, she found the doll's hair had grown longer, impossibly longer, and its head was turned as if it had moved on its own. Terrified, the family turned to a Shinto priest. He examined the doll, performed rituals, and confirmed their worst fears. Okiku's spirit had not moved on. It remained within the doll, and it refused to leave. Desperate, the family decided to donate the Manenji Temple in Hokkaido, where it remains today. The monks care for it, trimming its ever-growing hair and keeping it sealed away from the world. But the mystery lingers. How does its hair grow? What unseen force resides within? Visitors reported hearing a child's laughter echoing through the halls. Some claimed to see the doll's eyes follow them as they walked by. Priests at the temple began to notice something even more unsettling. The doll's hair continued to grow, defying all logic. They would cut it, only to find it longer the next day. It was as if the doll was alive, or possessed by something beyond our understanding. Today, the Okiku doll resides in the Manenji Temple in Hokkaido, where it is kept under careful watch. Visitors from around the world come to see the cursed doll, hoping to catch a glimpse of its eerie presence. Despite decades of study, no one can explain the doll's unnatural hair growth or strange behavior. Some say the spirit of Okiku is trapped within the doll. Others believe it's something far more malevolent, a curse that refuses to be broken. The story of Okiku's doll is not just a tale, but a warning. Some things are best left undisturbed. Spirits, once angered, do not rest easily, and those who seek to challenge the unknown may find themselves in the grip of something far more terrifying than they ever imagined. The Okiku doll remains one of Japan's most chilling mysteries. Is it a vessel for a restless spirit, or is it something else entirely? The truth may never be known, but one thing is certain. Some curses are never meant to be broken. If you have a story of your own, a tale of the unexplained, the supernatural, or the downright terrifying, we want to hear it. Send us your stories via email or voice note. Who knows? Your story might just be the next one we tell. There is a place in the heart of Ontario, Canada, where the air grows heavy, the silence feels suffocating, and the very walls seem to whisper secrets of a horrifying past. A place where, if you dare to enter and light a match, you might hear the desperate, blood-curdling scream of a long-lost soul. This is the Screaming Tunnel of Niagara Falls, one of Canada's most chilling legends. Tonight, we uncover the dark secrets buried in its cold stone walls and the tragic fate of the girl who is said to haunt it forever. To understand the horrors of the Screaming Tunnel, we must go back in time. The tunnel was originally constructed in the early 1900s as a drainage passage beneath the Grand Trunk Railway. It was meant to prevent flooding in nearby farmlands, but over the decades, its purpose was overshadowed by the chilling legend that would follow. The most well-known story tied to this tunnel tells of a young girl who met a gruesome fate. Some say she was the daughter of a farmer, trapped in a fire that consumed her home. Desperate and in agony, she ran into the tunnel, seeking refuge. But as the flames consumed her, her screams of terror filled the air, only to be silenced by death. Others whisper of a more sinister fate, that her own father, enraged by a bitter custody battle, set her ablaze to prevent his wife from taking her away. Over the years, the tunnel has become a hotspot for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. Many visit the tunnel to perform a chilling ritual, light a match or a lighter in the center of the tunnel, and it is said that the girl's spirit will extinguish the flame, accompanied by her blood-curdling scream. Those who have experienced it swear it's more than just the wind. They say it's her, the girl who never left. To this day, the legend persists. Locals claim that if you stand in the center of the tunnel at midnight and light a single match, the girl's tormented spirit will react. The match will be blown out, followed by an unearthly scream that shakes the very walls around you. Many who have attempted this ritual describe feeling watched, touched, or even pushed by an unseen force. Paranormal investigators have flocked to the Screaming Tunnel for years, seeking proof of the girl's spirit. Recordings have captured strange, disembodied voices, ghostly figures appearing on thermal cameras, and unexplained footsteps echoing in the silence. One investigator even reported feeling icy hands grab his wrist before his equipment malfunctioned completely. One man, who wished to remain anonymous, shared his experience. He visited the tunnel alone, determined to uncover the truth. As he lit the match, the air grew cold, and the flame flickered unnaturally. Then he heard it, a scream so loud and piercing, it felt as though it came from within his own mind. He ran, never looking back. To this day, he refuses to speak of what he saw in the darkness. One night, a paranormal investigator decided to document his experience. Armed with a camera, he ventured into the tunnel, determined to capture proof of the haunting. What he found would change him forever. The footage was never recovered. The investigator was found outside the tunnel, trembling and unable to speak. He never returned to the tunnel or paranormal investigations. Locals have passed down their own chilling experiences for generations. An elderly woman recalls the night she and her friends ventured into the tunnel decades ago, how their flashlights flickered uncontrollably, and how a scream sent them running in terror. Others describe finding handprints on their car windows after leaving the area, as if someone, or something, had been watching them. Some skeptics believe the tunnel's structure and acoustics create an illusion of supernatural phenomena. Others claim that psychological fear amplifies the experience. But those who have felt the icy breath on their neck or heard the anguished scream in the darkness, they know better. The screaming tunnel remains a place of mystery and terror. But what about you? Have you ever encountered something you couldn't explain? A place, a sound, a presence that defied logic? Share your story with us. Send your experiences via email or voice note, and your tale might be featured in our next video. Until next time, remember, some stories are best left untold, but not this one. Dubai is a city of luxury and modern wonders, a place where dreams come true. But for one unsuspecting traveler, it turned into a nightmare. In 2017, a businessman checked into a lavish 5-star hotel in the city's heart. What followed was a terrifying ordeal that still remains unexplained. This is the story of the Dubai Paranormal Hotel Room. It began like any other business trip. Mark Thompson, a seasoned traveler, arrived in Dubai for an important conference. He checked into the prestigious hotel, known for its opulence and unmatched service. His room, Suite 907, was located on the top floor, offering a stunning view of the bustling city below. But from the moment he stepped inside, he felt a strange unease. Mark tried to shake off the feeling. He attributed it to exhaustion. After all, long flights and time zone changes can take their toll. But as he prepared for bed, a sudden chill filled the room. The air conditioner was off, and yet his breath turned visible in the cold air. Then the knocking started. Mark hesitated. He walked to the door and looked through the peephole. Nothing. But as he turned away, the knocking came again, this time from inside the closet. His heart pounded. Mustering courage, he yanked open the doors. Empty. Yet, the room's temperature plummeted further. He wasn't alone. The next morning, Mark mentioned the incident to the hotel staff. The receptionist's expression changed. "Sir, are you sure you were alone in that room?" she asked. Confused, he nodded. The staff exchanged nervous glances, but said nothing more. Later that day, he met another guest who had booked the same room the previous week. But when he tried to reach out again, the man had disappeared, without checking out. That night, the terror escalated. Mark woke to the sound of furniture dragging across the floor. His bedside lamp flickered violently. Then, a shadow moved across the room, tall, contorted, its eyes glowing red. Frozen in fear, he could do nothing as the entity whispered his name. Mark had seen enough. Grabbing his things, he fled the room, heart pounding. As he reached the lobby, he gasped for breath, trying to explain what had happened, but the staff already knew. "Sir," the manager said, "you're not the first to experience this. And you won't be the last." Suite 907 remains open for booking, but few dare to stay. Some say it was built over an ancient burial site. Others whisper about a woman who perished there, never finding peace. Mark never returned, and to this day, no explanation exists for what he endured. Would you dare to stay in the Dubai Paranormal Hotel Room? Do you have a real-life horror story that still haunts you? Share your experiences with us. Send your stories via email or voice note, and they might be featured in a future episode. Until next time, stay safe and sleep with one eye open.